All right, we are live. I just watched the F1 movie. F1, I think I also just read that I rewatched the F1 movie. I also just read today that F1 has crossed $500 million worldwide. So that is really cool. And yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. There is this last scene where Brad Pitt is like, yeah, all I want to be is feel like all the cars are behind me. I'm in the front and I feel like I'm flying, and all I'm doing with all these races is I just want to chase that feeling. I'm just trying to chase that feeling. It's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah, chasing that feeling. He's chasing that one feeling that he feels like he's addicted to. And also it's pretty cool, like while watching F1, there are a lot of there were very specific scenes. Like there was this first scene where there are these two Porsche that are competing, that are like almost about to hit each other, and then the fireworks go off. That scene was amazing when I first saw it, but the second time when I saw it, it didn't hit the same. And then there is this last scene where Sonny Hayes, they are like, there's this quiet moment, no background music, just quiet moment, and they're just like showing the track. And then when he reaches the end, the fireworks goes off, they announce that okay, Sonny Hayes has won the race. That scene hit way more the first time, and this time it did hit. It hit less because now I knew what was happening. I knew what was going to happen. So it's pretty cool. But the movie was amazing. The movie was amazing. It's really interesting. I think these are some movies that you can watch and you can get back into the intensity. Like you can see like how for them it's like they are not overthinking. They are not distracted. They know there are these horse blinds on, and they know where to go. They know what to do. So that was pretty cool. But in general, what am I curious about? Tell me about. Tell me interesting facts about F1 movie. Also, a lot of interesting things are happening now. Like F1 is just becoming more and more part of the culture. If you just look at the influencers right now on Instagram, they are now making rounds on Formula E, Formula One, like going to all these paddock events, paddock events, and that is popping up. So going to F1 is becoming cool. What else? I think I recently saw a trailer. I think I saw back to back two trailers of movies or something, or an ad or something, and there were like F1 cars. Oh right, there's a French movie about F1 that is coming. What is it called? V- Villeneuve, something like that. Quelque chose comme ça. So Villeneuve, something like that. So that is the French movie from Quebec that is coming up. That is one. And then there's this another movie which is not about F1, or which is not about racing, but it just has this one F1 car in that. I think it is Now You See Me, right. So just today while watching this movie and doing all the ads, there was this French movie which is all about racing, and then Now You See Me, I believe it was Now You See Me. Now You See Me's new version is coming. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and they have an F1 scene over there. So F1 is just becoming more and more part of the culture, and they've done some pretty good job. It's kind of very interesting to see just so many ads, like so many, all these logos and sponsors. Also recently, Founders podcast. So David Sennard had he read a book which was all about Formula One, and it's actually really interesting. There's a very interesting podcast that goes into the story of Bernie Eccleston. That's one. I forgot the name of the other guy, the main guy who is kind of like who's kind of leading everything, who was kind of behind, who was like leading F1 for almost 40 years, I believe. And he was the one who's constantly like making sure that all the races are going on, and constantly iterating, constantly making these tiny improvements on making sure the race becomes bigger and bigger, selling to advertising, selling to all the broadcasting channels, making sure they're getting the revenue in. And then he was the guy who came up with the idea that, okay, now we will start selling logos. So now what do they call it? The livery of the car, I believe it's called livery. The livery of the car will start like just like having logos all around it. So that was very interesting. And then it gets into the Red Bull story of how Red Bull's founder all Matish, something like that, Austrian or Hungarian person, and his entire thing is just that he gets bored very quickly. So whatever he does, it's all about that I get bored really quickly. So that is the reason how we got into Red Bull, the drink. I believe he was a salesman. He was a traveling salesman, and he went to Japan. And he would always feel jet lagged. And he went to Japan, I believe, and that's where he tasted something like Red Bull, the local version of Red Bull, and he liked it. He was like, okay, this works. This actually works. It got me off my jet lag, gave me some energy boost, and then he's like, okay, let me fix this. Let me fix this recipe. So made it more, made some changes to the recipe, made it carbonated, and then started Red Bull. And then it talks about the story of how he got into F1. That at first he was just like a sponsor of a car, a sponsor of one team. Then he slowly is like, oh, now we want to become the title sponsor. Then they become the title sponsor. Then they are like, oh, why not own the team? So then they own the team. Then they're like, oh, we really like this, so let's own two teams. And then they're like, oh, let's run a driving academy where we train these junior people so that they can get into F1 and run a proper driving academy. So Red Bull has a very interesting story of how they went from having no relation with F1 to owning two teams today, Toro Rosso and Red Bull, and getting into all these engines and RB1, RB6, the F1 engines, F1 car engines. It's pretty cool. So F1 is just becoming more and more part of the culture. Let's go over here. Title and release. The movie's officially titled F1 is scheduled for theatrical release on June 27th, with international releases starting June 25. Okay. Joseph Kosinski. Yeah, this movie, we don't know who Joseph Kosinski is, but he's known for Top Gun Maverick and produced by Apple Original Films. Like, it starts with the Led Zeppelin song Whole Lot of Love. That is amazing. That is amazing. I heard that song. We did Led Zeppelin over here way back. Led Zeppelin is still the most watched video on our YouTube channel since we started live streaming. And there's a funny story because I think I have my thumbnail just says Led Zeppelin, and my thumbnail is just like cool, so people think it's actually music. So everybody's clicking over there, but then they realize that, oh shit, this is just like a random guy who's just talking about Led Zeppelin's story. But anyways, that song was amazing. Like, starting that song, Whole Lot of Love, that was pretty cool. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski. Okay, Apple Original Films. It seems the Apple story is also very interesting. I believe the story is, we kind of covered over here, but the story seems to be something like Apple is trying to be the new exclusive broadcasting partner for F1, and they just want to get it. They just want to get it. Right now it's ESPN, and they just want to get it. They want to be the exclusive partner, and they are just trying to do a lot of work. They are trying to do a lot of, let's say, I think this movie is kind of a way to convince F1 for a tighter partnership together, because already with this movie, yeah, F1 is now talk of the town. And the thing is, Netflix is competing with it. Yes, Netflix is also competing. Netflix already got WWE on Netflix as a live event. What do they call it? Live entertainment. And now Netflix is also aiming to get F1, but Apple has just way more money, and Apple is going to drop a lot of money. They already dropped a lot of money for this movie, marketed the heck out of it, made an amazing movie. It's not only just marketing, but also the product is amazing. And now, yeah, I think it's the rarest thing I have done where I actually don't ever do this. Even while I'm watching the movie, I realize that I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this movie because I already know everything, and I don't do this at all, where I watch the same movie again and again because I feel like I'm not going to enjoy it because I already know everything. I used to say to people that I don't understand how people can watch the same movie again and again, but I think I knew that this movie hit, and there are like emotions to this movie that you want to keep in yourself. So I think that is pretty cool. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski, known for Top Gun Maverick, and produced by Apple Original Films. Brad Pitt stars Sonny Hayes, retired Formula One driver who returns to the sport to mentor a young rookie on a fictional team called Apex GP. It's also really cool. I think the choice of sponsors was also really cool. Expensify, IWC. IWC is already a sponsor. What else? Tommy Hilfiger. They got OMP. Never heard of that. But it's also very interesting. Like they have to kind of get the sponsors who would kind of look good. It's planning. You gotta want sponsors who actually will actually look good on your car. You cannot just get a random company. The story blends high-stakes racing with drama, emphasizing themes of redemption and teamwork. Film features unprecedented collaboration in Formula One, including all 10 real teams drivers like Lewis Hamilton, who is also a producer, and FIA officials. There's Gunther. That was amazing. Filming occurred during actual Grand Prix weekends using modified Formula 2 cars to mimic F1 vehicles for authenticity. Alongside Pitt and Idris, the ensemble includes Javier Bardem as the team principal, Kerry Condon, Tobias, I don't know how to say that name exactly, Tobias Menzies, and cameos from real F1 personalities. Sarah Niles and Kim Bodnia round out the cast with Pitt's character inspired. Who are these guys? Kim Bodnia. Okay. Kim Bodnia is a very interesting person. The way they show him, it's like it just feels wrong. Because no person would be like this. Oh yeah. Because you cannot imagine a team principal to be like this. That just feels wrong. It's just like a funny element to it, but I can imagine like a lot of F1 fans who are really following F1 when they watch this movie. For people who don't give a fuck about F1, this is a great movie. This is a great movie. But people who are like diehard fans of F1 who are like watching everything, I can imagine how they feel like this is so stupid. This entire movie is so stupid. They are just constantly, they have exaggerated, extrapolated things which would never happen. And yeah, but anyways, inspired by legendary drivers but not based on any one person. Legendary drivers. Production scale. Budget is reportedly over 300 million, making one of the most expensive films ever. Used innovative camera rigs on cars to capture realistic racing footage at speeds up to 200 miles per hour, with Pitt himself driving in some scenes after extensive training. Hamilton ensured cultural accuracy and diversity in the script. Dawn Apollo Films. He also appears on a cameo and contributed to realistic depictions of F1's technical and emotional sides. That is very cool. Technical and emotional sides. Shooting took place at iconic circuits like Silverstone, Hungaroring, Spa, Francorchamps, and Las Vegas, integrating with live races. This caused some logistical challenges but added unparalleled realism. The first teaser trailer released in July 2024 garnered over 10 million views in its first day, hyping the film's intense action scenes and Hans Zimmer's score. So much collaboration going on in this movie. Led Zeppelin, Hans Zimmer, the music, the background score of this movie is amazing. Potential impact. Experts predict it could boost F1's popularity similar to how Drive to Survive did, especially with its IMAX release, and focus on the sport's global appeal. Brad Pitt at 60 during filming underwent rigorous physical training to portray a driver convincingly. The fictional Apex GP team has its own livery and pit crew designed to fit seamlessly with real teams. Yes. That was very interesting. Give me more interesting facts. F1 Aerodynamics. The aerodynamic stuff is pretty interesting. What is actually happening? There are some scenes where they show them working. It's showing the simulations and stuff. It's pretty cool to see. Like when they talk about, hey, dirty air on the straights, stuff like that. Drag, downforce. Yeah, this is where the magic happens, because you are trying to make something so light and so fast that you want to make sure that it doesn't just fly. So this is where it really makes sure that the car is stuck to the ground. This downforce is where it makes sure that the car is stuck to the ground. Neural concept. The film has become a massive box office hit, grossing over 509 million worldwide, making it Apple's highest grossing. Oh, today it just. Oh, wow. So, theatrical release. Oh, so I watched exactly a month after its release. Wow. Okay. Making Apple's highest grossing original film to date and surpassing expectations with a strong opening weekend of 146 million globally. On track to potentially reach 575 million or more, with a re-release on IMAX theaters and scheduled for August 8 due to high demand. I definitely wanted to watch in IMAX. Returning to IMAX cinemas on 8 August after surpassing 460 million at box office. One positive reviews overall holding at 83%. Let me see. What's the latest IMDb? Latest IMDb is 7.9. Okay. So when I first watched, I think the IMDb was 7.2. So this is really good. This is really good. A great cinema score. Exhilarating racing sequences comparison to Top Gun for its immersive action. I think the entire last scene of that race in Abu Dhabi, that is amazing. That is amazing because you cannot, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that before. It's a proper race. At a point, you were just like, what am I watching? Am I watching a movie? Am I watching a real race over here? Am I watching something real over here? This doesn't seem like a movie right now. Though some motorsport outlets noted flaws in plot depth and character development, especially for female roles. Performance has been the standard with the filmmaking, his biggest career earner after nearly 4 decades in Hollywood. Underwent extensive training and actually drove modified cars on real F1 tracks, adding authenticity. Highest of the highs. Describe experiencing circuits like Silverstone as the highest of the highs. They said something on Silverstone. That Silverstone is where you can actually push or something. I forgot. The soundtrack composed by Hans Zimmer. The second F1 weird score after Rush features an album with singles from artists like Don Toliver. The Don Toliver song is amazing. Lose My Mind. David McRae's song is amazing. Just keep watching. But it's not really played. Ed Sheeran, amazing song. Drive, Pedal Down and Drive. Amazing song. I don't recognize the other songs. Rose and Mike Towers. Released alongside with the film's North American debut. Album with singles. Innovative filming techniques included a custom iPhone-based onboard camera for dynamic shots. iPhone-based onboard camera for dynamic shots and 6 modified Dallara F2 2018 cars for the fictional Apex GP team, plus remote-controlled chassis for crash scenes to ensure safety and realism. Boosted by real sponsorships from brands like Expensify, Geico, and MSC Cruises, which appear on the Apex GP cars. Okay. And generated at least 40 million in tie-ins, including Hot Wheels models and McDonald's promotions in select countries. Wow. Movie success has sparked talks about its sequel and potential franchise, with reports from industry outlets highlighting its cultural impact on boosting F1's popularity sooner to Drive to Survive. Already nominations at the 8th Astra Mid-Season Movie Awards, including Best Picture and Acting nods for Pitt, Javier Bardem, and Kerry Condon. Behind the scenes trivia, actress Simone Ashley's role was reduced to a cameo during edits. Who is Simone Ashley? Whoa. Who is Simone Ashley? Wait. Was this person? Whoa. Machine have fun. Reduced shoe a cameo during edits in the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike delayed filming in 24 private screening for F1 drivers happened in Monaco. During the 25 Cannes Film Festival and the New York premiere involved a Qatar Airways charter flight for attendees. On a quirky note, the film's popularity led to a spike in cyber scams exploiting its hype as worn by security firms like Kaspersky. Yes, Brad Pitt and Damson really did drive. Tell me interesting facts about F1 aerodynamics. Very broad question. Let's see if Croc can understand what I mean. Aramco motorsport aerodynamics expand the role of wings, stalling, and diffusers. Explain for more agile cars to X mode and Z mode, unpicking the 2026 aerodynamics regulations. How much smaller are we talking? Reducing the size must have slashed the weight then. What is this website? Formula1.com. Next race, Hungary. Track time. Yeah, Oscar Piastri won. Very happy with P3 in Spa qualifying. Verstappen identifies area Red Bull are just not strong enough. Weekend to forget for Hamilton despite Belgian GP charge. Our partners: LVMH, Pirelli, Aramco, Heineken, AWS, Lenovo, DHL, Qatar, MSC Cruises, Crypto.com, Salesforce, Louis Vuitton. LVMH and Louis Vuitton are separate. Tag Moet Hennessy. Wow, Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton are separate. Okay. American Express, Santander, Helman, Globant, Las Vegas, Paramount Plus, Liqui Moly, Nestle, PwC, PepsiCo, Puma, Tata, McDonald's, you all. Global partners, Aramco. Wow. Training deep learning models with more than 65 years of historical race data stored in Amazon S3. Extract critical race performance statistics to make race predictions that give fans insight into the split-second decisions strategies adopted by teams and drivers. Every twist and turn of the Formula One circuits with unmatched accuracy and speed. F1 Amazon Kinesis here, just like talking on every product, can stream real-time race data in by deploying advanced machine learning via Amazon SageMaker. Pinpoint how a driver is performing and whether or not drivers have pushed themselves over the limit. The American customer and the world's fastest growing crypto app along with Crypto.com Visa card. DHL, Heineken. Led by Bernard Arnault. Only player simultaneously presenting in the 5 major sectors of the industry: wines and spirits, fashion, leather goods, perfume and cosmetics, watches and jewelry, and selective retailing. Pirelli, leading tire producers, only pure consumer tire company that includes car, motorbike, and bicycle tires as well as associated services. exclusive official tire partner of the Formula One World Championship since 2011. Qatar. Official providers: mobile modular power, mechanical processing or finishing, light alloy wheels. Data communication. Global digital ecosystem enabler. Very interesting. Downforce generation. Modern F1 cars produce immense downforce enough to theoretically allow them to drive upside down on a tunnel ceiling at speeds around 160 kilometers per hour without falling. Wow. As the aerodynamic suction presses the car firmly against the surface, this downforce can exceed 3 times the car's weight at high speeds, enabling cornering forces up to 6.5 G while keeping the tires gripped to the track. Ground effect revival. When regulators reintroduced ground effect aerodynamics, banned in the 1980s for safety reasons, where the car's underbody creates a low pressure area to suck it to the ground, generating on 50% of total downforce. This design, inspired by the Lotus 79 from 1978, helps cars follow each other more closely by reducing turbulent, dirty air wakes by up to 45% when traveling at 10 meters. Front wing importance. The front wing is the cornerstone of an F1 car's aero package, directing airflow over the entire vehicle and reducing speed by about 30% by the time it reaches the rear wing to optimize downforce distribution. 10% improvement in downforce here can shave roughly 1 second off lap time. F1 cars have a high drag coefficient, 2 to 4 times that of a typical road car, due to their focus on downforce over straight line efficiency. Yet this allows annual downforce gains of 5 to 10% through tweaks, even under strict rules limiting wind tunnel testing. Without drag, lap times could improve by 3 to 5%, where removing downforce would slow cars by about 25%. Porpoising phenomena. High-speed bouncing plagued teams in 2022 due to ground effect designs disrupting airflow, causing the car to oscillate up and down and lose downforce. Teams combat this by fine-tuning wing angles and suspension. Vortices and turbulence management. Control vortices swirling air from elements like wing end plates to seal the car's floor, preventing high-pressure air from leaking in and reducing downforce, though this creates a dirty air that makes overtaking harder. Diffuser role. The rear diffuser accelerates air into the car to create a vacuum, contributing significantly to downforce for better grip in corners. It's often crafted from carbon fiber with intricate layers to comply with FIA rules while maximizing performance. Teams invest heavily in wind tunnels to simulate airflow at speeds up to 300 kilometers per hour, testing tiny changes that yield gains as small as hundredths of a second per lap. Some employ over 100 specialists just for aero development. Active aerodynamics. In 26, upcoming regulations will introduce active aero with Z mode, high downforce for corners, and X mode, low drag for straights, allowing drivers to switch configurations mid-lap on straights longer than 3 seconds, making cars 30 kg lighter and more agile. Low drag for straights, allowing drivers to switch configurations mid-lap to straights on straights longer than 3 seconds, making cars 30 kg lighter and more agile. Transform F1 from simple designs of the 50s to black art engineering today. For instance, wings are added in the 60s and ground effect peaked in the 70s before bans, leading to innovations like DRS drag reduction system in 2011 for overtaking. kilogram. This includes driver and driver tires.
Although it was a light bulb moment that saw aircraft wings inverted and put on F1 cars to create downforce rather than lift, it was a happy accident that saw F1's first ground effect aerodynamics, technology that aims to suck the car towards the track from below. But where did the first ground effect car race, and with which team? With a reputation as F1's innovators, Team Lotus debuted the first ground effect aerodynamics at the opening round of the 1977 season in Argentina, having been the pioneers of aerodynamics with their winged cars a decade earlier. Skirts were their secret. Oh, not those ones though. The Lotus 78 had side pod skirts, bodywork extensions which dropped to the track surface from the car's edges. When lowered, the lower air pressure created underneath the car gave them huge amounts of downforce without the drag that comes with wings. But it was discovered rather than designed. When the team attached cards to keep an experimental side pod design in place in the wind tunnel, the unexpected amounts of downforce pitched their developments down a completely new path. The other teams quickly took notice, and the skirts were widely copied, beginning the ground effect era. We may not have side pod skirts in F1 anymore, but the floor aerodynamics are still crucially important today, a legacy from that chance discovery in Lotus's wind tunnel 40 years ago.
Known the world over as one championship Piastri on his way. They are responding DRS to get it. Has been reported 4 seconds for Oscar Piastri.
I'm surprised, yeah, Google Chrome wasn't in the sponsor list. But anyways, where's Hamilton? Hamilton is number 7 and Leclerc is number 3. Wow. There's a Mercedes at number 16. Wow. Russell is number 5.
Piastri has shown
Nicely done.
McLarens are getting really better. Wow. What has caused McLaren F1 team to perform so good in 2025 season? Let's see. There's any technicalities that we can find.
Aerodynamics contributes to the design of an F1 car to reduce drag and generate downforce, which improves the vehicle's traction and allows it to turn more.
Aerodynamics, wind tunnel, F1. These photos are actually really cool, the wind tunnel photos. Why wind tunnel is key. These photos are cool.
More quickly. The process known as porpoising occurs when the front of the vehicle rises and falls at high speeds. The aerodynamics of the car are challenged since this alters airflow and decreases downforce. The aerodynamic force that pushes a Formula One car down and increases its grip on the track is known as downforce. Teams must balance the downforce as much as possible to keep the car quick and stable. An F1 car's front and rear wings are crucial for producing downforce. Airflow to the remainder of the vehicle is guided by the front wing, while downforce is produced by the rear wing. The ideal airflow created by both wings produces downforce. The wing end plate, which is situated at the tips of the front and rear wings, aids in generating downforce and stability when driving at high speeds. The purpose of this plate is to improve the car's grip and traction by directing airflow around the wings and reducing turbulence. An aero rake is a system of tubes used to monitor airflow that is fastened to the back of the vehicle. Teams can improve downforce and drag and gain insight into the car's aerodynamics with the use of an aero rake. The floor's purpose is to maximize airflow beneath the vehicle and produce downforce. Its primary goals are to increase grip and produce downforce. There is a pressure differential between the top and bottom of the car because the floor functions like an inverted wing. This pressure difference creates downforce, allowing the car to stay better on the track and drive faster through corners.
Interesting. Exceptional performance, where they secured 9 wins in the first 12, lead to a constructors championship. Combination key engineering hires and leadership. Fueled by recruiting top talent, notably Rob Marshall from Red Bull, who joined as technical director and is credited with groundbreaking innovations similar to his past work on the G damper for Renault. Wow, so they got someone from Red Bull. That's amazing. Team principal Andrea Stella's aggressive development approach has also played a pivotal role, pushing for an extreme evolution of the MCL39 car from its 2024 predecessor, including exaggerated details in aerodynamics and suspension. Superior tire and thermal management. Standard strength is McLaren's ability to control tire and brake temperatures optimally, even in hot conditions, allowing consistent performance across stints and qualifying laps on softer compounds, something rivals like Ferrari struggle with. The secret weapon has been evident in races like Bahrain, where Oscar Piastri's FP3 lap in high heat left competitors baffled. Redesigned cooling systems further enhance this, preventing overheating while maintaining aero efficiency. This is really cool. Like, when both of your cars are at the top, this basically means that yes, your driver, if you have a good driver, you need a good, like, this basically means that your cars are so much better. That your cars are so much better because both these because if the drivers are decent enough, these are just gonna crush it. They're gonna be top 2, and that shows now. Wow. Features profound changes, including a high front wing angle of attack for better low-speed performance, though it makes the car sensitive to dirty air. An aggressive anti-dive front suspension for improved handling, and underbody tweaks for enhanced downforce in fast corners. A new floor upgrade tested at Silverstone and introduced mid-season has provided a major head start, boosting adaptability in wet-dry conditions and high downforce setups like at Spa. Building on 24 momentum. Dominance comes from continuous upgrades, starting with the 24 Miami package, which has led to 10 wins, 27 podiums, 11 poles. Pre-season testing positioned them as favorites with a strong chassis that converged on the best aspects of the ground effect era regulations in the final year. And streaks like winning 5 with this now 6 races on scene. Driver synergy and operational excellence. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri's strong qualifying have maximized car's potential, in Norris leading to championship despite early discomfort. Let's ask this question. What are 20%? I need to know about F1 to understand 80%. Yes, very good. Pareto principle. Wow. Glossary. Blockage. Boundary layer contact patch. Double diffuser. DRS. An overtaking aid which allows the driver to make an adjustment to the rear wing from the steering wheel and deactivated when the driver brakes. Can only be used in DRS zone designated areas of the track in qualifying and during the race if the following car is within 1 second of the car in front at the DRS ejection points. The race director may decide to suspend use in adverse weather conditions or in yellow flag zone. The rear wing flap must be at least 10 mm from the main plane when closed and no more than 65 mm when open. Yaw. A car is said to be in yaw when it corners with a sliding, usually tail out attitude. In other words, the car is cornering sideways. Vortex. Swirling flow of air. Vortex would occur at the tip of a wing where the air passing around the wing is reflected just beside air that does not touch the wing. The championship and season structure. F1 crowns 2 world champions annually: the driver championship, individual glory, construction championship, team supremacy based on the combined driver points. 25 season features 24 Grand Prix across 21 countries, starting in Australia, ending in Abu Dhabi, with a mix of street circuits. It's pretty cool, like, to do Australia in March, because you kind of have summer season in Australia, and Abu Dhabi you have winter season. So it's actually better in Abu Dhabi. It's not too hot, with a mix of street circuits and purpose-built tracks. Which are typically 305 km, about 1.5 to 2 hours, emphasizing endurance and speed. McLaren leads the constructors standing by a wide margin after 14 races thanks to dominant performances. Teams and drivers are key players. 10 teams, each fielding 2 drivers. Blend of experience and youth. Teams design and build their own cars but use standardized parts like Pirelli tires. Star drivers like Max Verstappen. Dominant headlines, but 25 has seen McLaren's Piastri. And Norris outperform everyone, including Verstappen, marking a shift from Red Bull's recent dominance. Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari adds intrigue as he's chasing an 8th title. Race weekend format. Weekends build tension, free practice, 4 setup tweaks, qualifying sets the starting grid based on fastest laps on the main race on Sunday. Some weekends include sprint races. Qualifying is crucial. Pole position offers a huge advantage, as seen in Piastri's recent Belgian GP win from pole. Scoring system. Points are awarded to the top 10 finishers. This rewards consistency over one-off wins. McLaren's double podiums have propelled them ahead, with Piastri's Belgium victory adding 25 points to his tally. The cars, tech and aerodynamics. F1 cars are engineering marvels. 1.6 liter turbo hybrid V6 power units over 1000 horsepower, generating massive downforce via aerodynamics, wings, and ground effect floor since 22 regs for cornering at 5 to 6 G forces. Tires soft red for speed but quick wear, medium yellow, and hard white for durability. Our pivotal McLaren's 25 Edge comes from superior aero and tire management, allowing better handling in varied conditions. Cars top to 20 miles per hour but prioritize grip over raw speed. Key rules: DRS pit stops penalties. Opens the rear wing for a speed boost when within 1 second of the car. Aiding overtakes. Pit stops for tire changes, no refueling, last 2 seconds, but can include penalties. Infractions like unsafe releases, flags, signal conditions, yellow, caution, red stop, checkered finish. Rules create draw over Verstappen penalties in 25 affecting his title chase. Race strategies. Teams juggle tire compounds, must use at least 2 in dry races. Pit timing. Undercut. Pit early to gain position. Overcut. Stay out longer. Undercut. Overcut. And energy management. Weather flips everything. Rain requires intermediates or wets. 25 McLaren's flawless strategies, tire longevity and heat have been key to their 9 wins. Safety and incidents. The safety car bunches the field during hazards, neutralizing leads and sparking restarts. Virtual safety car slows everyone without bunching. Crashes or debris trigger these, adding unpredictability. 25 has seen fewer due to improved car designs, but incidents like multi-car pileups still occur. Overtaking and racing dynamics. Tracks vary. High-speed Monza versus twisty. Dirty or turbulence from leading cars hinders following. So DRS and self-streams are vital for passes. 20 to 25 ground effect regs improve close racing, evident in 25's thrilling battles between McLaren and Ferrari. '26 brings major regulations, sustainable fuels, active aero, switchable wings, and lighter cars for better racing. F1's global appeal stems from tech innovation, rivalries, watching Drive to Survival backstory. The final year of current regulations, McLaren's dominance highlights how small aero tweaks yield big gains. Really cool. Alright, that's the stream. Thank you.